From UFC and to Bellator, how do you feel as a fighter? What is the difference?
Yeah, I get asked that all the time. What are the differences between the UFC and Bellator? And it's a very hard question to answer. It'd be easier to answer the opposite question, which is what are the similarities? They're very close, you know. Some of it's the same personnel. The UFC has more personnel, so Bellator is a little bit smaller workforce, but that's really it. You know, the rules are the same, and one's an octagon, and one's got a couple of less angles in the ring. But I mean, I'm stretching for an answer there. It's the same sport. We're doing the same thing, and I could just find more similarities than I could. The rules have changed, in fairness, and I've been on both sides of the tracks, and you know. There's going to be testing. It's not true that he's not going to be tested. There's no part of the world. The world's not a big enough place to hide from a tester. And the way that works, and a lot of people don't understand this, I see Coker get asked this, or I see Dana White get asked this, and they put it on the promoter, and the promoter's almost stumbling for an answer. But the reality is that's outside of their scope. They're out of their lanes. The commission oversees that. So it's not the promoter's job to do it, or even to know the answer. And the problem you run into if you're a promoter, there's 50 different jurisdictions within this country. So every time you get asked that question, you got to freeze and go, okay, where am I standing today? Because we're standing in New York, so it's the New York. So Kim Stumbler will handle all of that. And if Kim calls me, I'm going to go off of the way it worked in California where I fought last. But I know that Kim Stumbler's office is going to be the same. Andy Foster called me from California. I had 24 hours to report to a test. That's it. If I miss the phone call, my clock starts. If he leaves me a voicemail, my clock starts. If he sends me an email and I don't check it, my clock starts. And if you don't meet it, you automatically fail. Relevance being, no, I'm no Vandalay fan, but no, Vandalay didn't skip this to pass or to skip out on a test. If Kim Stumbler's office calls him and says you have 24 hours, he has 24 hours, wherever he's at.
McGregor and Mayweather?
Yeah, McGregor and Mayweather, I love it. I don't feel it's MMA versus boxing. I mean, this is boxing versus its own reputation. If Conor makes it more than 30 seconds, it discredits the entire sport of boxing. If Conor makes it out of the first round, boxing is ruined. You're taking a guy who has never lost in professional boxing against a guy who has never done professional boxing. And I can tell you, I come from an amateur wrestling background. The best wrestler we have right now is a guy named David Taylor. If you brought someone over who had never wrestled before and put him against David Taylor, they would not make it 30 seconds. Definitely not. I mean, it'd be 12 seconds. I'm exaggerating to say 30 just to make my point. And you're now telling me insiders from the sport of boxing are giving Conor McGregor a chance. And that's not a knock on Conor, that's a knock on Floyd, and that's an embarrassment to the entire fringe sport of boxing. And boxing is on the ropes right now, and it should be. The sport sucks, its leadership sucks, it's boring, it's unparticipated in. I'm a professional fighter. I was 28 years old when I met my first boxer. I used to live at the Olympic Training Center that had a boxing program, and I was 28 years old when I met my first man who'd ever been in the ring and actually laced him up and boxed on a Saturday night. It's a fringe sport at best, but I respect it. I have been stunned to find out that other people don't.